Hi guys, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Today I'm doing a sweet and simple card set. We're almost at the end of the school year here, so I know people are looking for ideas for teacher gifts and whatnot. So I am using the Your Peach Designer Series paper. Now I do have a couple of shares left of this paper. So what you get is a quarter pack cut to 6 by 6 of the paper, and I'll go through and show you each one, as well as 10 pieces of cardstock. I've chosen, and you'll get 2 of each piece. For this one, I've chosen Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, Early Espresso, Pear Pizzazz, and Petal Pink. And they all coordinate with the paper. And you'll also get a quarter pack of the basic pearls. So the cost for that, if you're interested and live in Canada, is $15 plus $3 if I need to mail it out to you. So let's get started. We're going to take a peek at the paper first. So you get 2 sheets of each. So front and back, I'll show you each. And then I'm just going to set it off to the side until we get to the pack that are the pieces that we're going to be using for the sweet and simple card. Okay, I really wasn't sure about this paper until I saw it in person, and I really like the floral images. Now, pinks are not generally my go-to color set, but I do love the blues. And I like this one too. It's really quite fun. And this is the one that we're going to be using for our card. So we've got the white, the green, the peaches, and then the back is this really sweet muted white and balmy blue cardstock. So I'm just going to take one piece. I've decided that I'm also going to be using the Tasteful Touches stamp set for this, and I'm just going to be stamping it in the Memento Tuxedo Black. So I've got my card bases here as well. I'm just going to set them off to the side. Now we're going to trim our paper so that we can get 3 cards out of it. So the first thing that we're going to do, this paper is not terribly directional on the back, but it is on the front. So you need to decide if you want a vertical or a horizontal card. I'm going to do vertical. So my first cut is going to be horizontal. Now my first piece is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to just cut it at 5 1/4. Yeah, that's right, 5 1/4, sorry. And I like to cut bottom to top. Okay, so now I've got a 6" by 3/4 piece. I'm just going to set off to the side. This one I'm going to cut at 4 inches, bottom to top. And then I've got this piece, which is the 2 inches left over by 5 1/4. So now we're going to start our card assembly. Actually, we are going to do just a small piece, or a smaller piece of Balmy Blue, which I'm going to use for the sentiment, I think, on this one. Okay, and I love Calypso Coral. I love reds and oranges. So I'm going to start with Calypso Coral for the bigger one. And I'm just going to mat it on our piece here. So I've got my Stampin' Seal, and as always, 2 strips down the long edge. And then I'm just going to center it. I think I'm just going to use the Just Saying Hello for this one. I think I'm going to cut this one square, but I'm going to stamp it first, and then I'm going to trim it. Put the lid back on so nothing happens. Okay, and then I'm going to just trim it Let's see, 2.5 should do it. And 2.5 by, whoops, 2.5 by 1 3/4. Now with this stamp set, or sorry, I just lost my train of thought. With this paper pack, most of the colors come from the Subtles color family, which would be the Balmy Blue, Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, and Petal Pink. Whisper White, sorry, Basic White, also coordinates with this. So you can really quickly and easily put any card together with just white, if that's all you had. And also black is absolutely stunning with this. It just makes it pop. All right, and I'm just going to pop the backs off of the dimensionals. And this guy, I'm going to stick down at the bottom. So it doesn't really, there's nothing here but the green. So I'm just going to stick that down here. And then grab matte black dots. Grab one that's open. And I'm going to use the smaller ones. And I'm just going to do 3 in the corner. Now, I usually use my Take Your Pick tool. These matte dots are easy enough to pick up and place without needing to use the tool. All right, so there we go. Card number 1 is done. I'm just going to run some adhesive onto my card base and get this card finished. I've been trying to get into the habit of that. Usually I do the fronts and then I have a whack of fronts that I need to do. And adhere to the bases. So I'm trying to get into the habit of doing it all at once. All right, so there we go. I just want to show you a quick tip for lining up your base. So I've got my card here, opens. I've already used my bone folder. So I like to line mine up when it's closed, and I line it up to the edge and then press down from the outside, or from the fold to the outside, just in case something happened and things didn't get cut 100% squarely. You can go back and trim it off with your paper trimmer when you're done. Okay, so I'm going to use this one next, I think. Sorry, choices. I think I'm going to use the peaches on this side as well. And again, just 2 strips long side. And then for this one, I'm going to bring it in a little bit from the edge and a little bit from the top and the bottom. Because remember, this is only 5 1/4, so it's about 1/4 of an inch, not about, it is 1/4 of an inch smaller than this piece here. And then just to be a little bit different, let's see, I wonder if, no, that won't fit, but this one might. Okay, we are going to use You're the Best. And for this one, I'm going to stamp it in the Petal Pink. On the Petal Pink in Memento Black. I don't know, my coffee is faulty this morning. It is just not working for me in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so then I want to do a paper saver for this. So I'm going to got a jewel on the bottom of my punch. So I want to take it and punch as close as I can or as far in as I can. And then when I go to do another card, I'll be able to cover it up so that I can use this for something else. And you can actually punch as many things out as you can for Paper Saver. If you're doing a really heavy card, it lightens it up for postage. And also, nobody's really going to see this part, so you might as well save some paper while you're at it. Okay, and I'm going to use this guy. Make sure it's tacked down and then centered and just stamp. Okay, now for this one, I think it needs a little bit of something behind it. It's kind of getting lost a little. So let's do, you know what, we've got Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so our rectangle, or our oval I should say, is about 1 1/4, nope. Yeah, about 1 1/4 inches round, or wide, by almost 2 1/4. So I'm going to do 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. Cut bottom to top. Now also, to make sure that you're getting a perfectly straight cut, make sure that there's nothing underneath your paper lifting it up, because it might shift it. And I said 2 1/2 for that. And then I'm just going to set it in the center. Actually, I'm going to grab my corner rounder punch. Looks a little odd to have square corners with an oval piece. So I'm just going to line it up into the track. So there's a stop here and a stop here. So you want to make sure that it's flush with both. And then just work your way all the way around. This is actually a tri-punch. So it'll do a ribbon hole, a corner rounder, and then this nice little decorative piece. All right. Okay, move those little guys out of the way. And then just a strip of adhesive down the center of our oval. Let's see. For this one, I think I'm going to use these little clear epoxy circles on the corners. It just gives it a little bit of shine and shimmer without a whole bunch of muss and fuss. It just kind of looks like little dewdrops as well. And then I'm going to stick it up onto some dimensionals as well. You could probably get away with 2 in the center. For squares and rectangles, I like to do 1 on each corner just to make sure that everything is going to be popped up the best way that it can. I'm going to roughly center it. And then, actually, we're going to use this guy just for a little bit of interest on the corners. So now what I'm going to do when I do the adhesive, I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I can't. So I'm going to do all 4 corners, or 4 edges, but not to the corner. And then just going to grab my card base and plop this guy on. So you'll have a little bit of the white popping through. If you wanted to, you could also pop this up on dimensionals, or you can wait until you have it adhered and then you can just do both layers. Doing 2 layers can be a little tricky sometimes. You just need a little bit more muscle power to get her done. But it's super quick, super easy. And there is card number 2 completed. All right, let's move on to our final piece. And I just dropped my card base on the floor, but that's all good. For this one, we're going to do the brown early espresso with our little extra piece of blue. And we're going to do strips, but I'm going to cut this in half. So you'll remember that we had, this is 6 inches by, oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. 6 inches by 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And our little strips, we have 2 that we can choose from our piece of balmy blue. I think I'm going to do this guy this way. I really like brown and blue together. Let's see. Sorry, just trying to decide. Okay, we're going to use the thank you sentiment again. But this time, we're also going to pair it with the feather. I did not put the lid on my stamp pad, and I just stamped the back of my stamp case. Okay, no worries, it's all good. So we're going to stamp, oh my goodness, things are starting to fall to pieces. All right, we're going to stamp this guy, kind of centered, but also a little bit off to the side so that we can fit our feather in. Oh, excuse me. And then grab our feather. Actually, this feather is one of the main reasons I got this set. I absolutely love it. Okay, and then we're just going to put the feather right on the edge, just like that. Close the ink pad before something else happens to it. Okay, and then we're just going to put in the center and then match it up with the blue circles. So this is fairly clean and simple. It would be a great card for really anybody, male, female, adult, child. And I think a lot of people would really appreciate some happy mail lately. I'm just going to line it up right on the edge. Actually, no, I'm going to cover the edge just a bit. Make sure it's roughly centered, and then just press. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Roughly centered. Now, if you would like to make sure that what you're lining up is exactly even, you can just grab a piece of cardstock and line it up, or you can use a ruler. I kind of like to eyeball it just to make sure that it's fairly straight and fairly even, but it's handmade, so really it doesn't need to be 100% perfect. Now for this one, I'm going to use the clear epoxy shapes again, but I'm going to use the diamonds. And I'm going to do 3 diamonds down the side. I like odd numbers. All right. 2, and then the last one right here. All right. Actually, yeah, I think just 3 is good. No, I think I need more. Sorry. I don't know. Do you craft like this when you get an idea into your head and you just need to see what's what and if it's going to work? I don't know. I just get an idea, see if it is what is in my head, and then it's a good thing about making things yourself. You can always change it or improve it. Okay, and here's our last piece. Okay, so there's our diamond. Whoops, nope, not quite. There's our diamonds done. So I will be posting this over on my Facebook page. So if you do create, this one is just the dickens today. All right, there we go. I'll be posting this on my Facebook page as well as putting instructions over on my blog, which I'll link to down below. So as always, if you create something, please feel free to share it over on my Facebook page. And again, if you would like to join this share, let me know. I've got 2 shares left. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe below so you're notified every single time a brand new video is posted. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day.